Well, gang, we are back for some Bleach Soul Resonance. And to sort of jump off of a conversation I was having yesterday when I uploaded a video talking about who I expect to be coming, why I don't think it's someone like Aizen just yet, I did want to talk about where I am with my account again and why I will be pulling for Hitsugaya, whereas I did not pull for Ichigo, or in more, honest terms, because if I was going to pull for Ichigo, I would have re-rolled for Ichigo. And there's nothing wrong with re-rolling for Bankai Ichigo. It is the smartest path that if you are starting Bleach Soul Resonance, this is objective, is that you re-roll for Bankai Ichigo. I just didn't feel like it. I had games I was playing Chaos Zero Nightmare. I had just re-rolled in that game. I had, Dokkan, which I keep up with. In this instance, I just didn't really feel like doing the re-roll. Even though it would have been the smartest option. So here is my account as of right now. I got pretty unlucky with my SSRs. I got Komomura first. I got Yoruichi. I then got Yoruichi's Boundary 1. And then I managed to get Urahara from the Selector. Which you might be saying, well, you have 3 SSRs. That's true, but what I would like more is a 4th SSR. Preferably in a different element. Hitting the second Yoruichi was a nightmare, and even though Yoruichi is plenty strong, is plenty able to carry me through all of the content as of right now, even off element, this is a PvE game. And unlike Dokkan, where the rule of Dokkan team building is put the single strongest characters on a team, as many of them as possible, and they will kill the content. And Dokkan hasn't really figured out a way to stop that yet. That's just sort of how the content works. In PvE games that model themselves more after Genshin or HSR, even CZN, Chaos Zero Nightmares, to get other game I'm playing, element typings matter a lot. They tend to play around with those typings, and while I have been raising this Ichigo, I've sort of started to notice the issues. And what it's led me to believe is that the SRs can compete, but I do think they are sort of locked behind their boundaries. I mean, look at just the modifiers this character gets for having any of this stuff, right? And so what I need more than anything is to just pull on anything at this point. I will be raising Rukia to go alongside Toshiro, obviously. Beyond that, it'll probably just be a classic team where I put Kisuke on support. I do have, of course, Yachiru, who has a generic support, even though it's not as strong. If I could pull more Renjis, I could pair him up with Yuryu, who I literally have nearly max awakened, right? And this is without pulling on Ichigo's banner, which he is featured on. So literally almost max awakened. I have Renji at 2, right? So if I pull any more Renjis, Renji is featured on that banner at all. We're talking about having another character. Getting Momo, I believe her name is, his support, the support for blue, will also be a big increase. But I could also, just as easily use a healer, right? But I would prefer to use a character who is adding more damage to the pot. So one thing I have noticed as I sort of, I don't think I have her stamp. I don't have her stamp. I don't have his stamp either. Yeah, I don't have his stamp either. And I do have Rukia's stamp. So that's good to go. So what I think is going to end up happening with the game is I think we're going to be served a big old whopping helping of Hitsugaya, Momo, and then just content. And then I think after that, we are going to be given Gin and Rengiku, who are infinitely important to the overall story of Hitsugaya. As well, we are getting an event called the Toshiro, I guess just the Toshiro event, a challenge mode versus Gin. We are going to, and this is from the SR news page, which is unofficial, but is ran by cool people, Giku I know, and than some others who I'm unaware of. But we're going to invest in SR Rukia to help us with Gin Boss's damage resistance. You can remove it by freezing him with Rukia or Toshiro. There are challenge modifiers. By giving yourself handicaps or buffing Gin, you can increase the modifiers for the points you gain. There will be rankings. There will be event missions, such as using a certain modifier or reaching a certain score. These will contribute towards Jade's, Dice's, and Toshiro's core stamp, which is very important, right? So I would like to sort of throw my hat in. For the people who have Ichigo, this would have been the time that you blitz content. Because what's going to happen is they're going to release content, and they're going to aim it at the characters they release, right? That's just how gacha goes. In the case of Ichigo, that means that you should not be having any trouble at all progressing the slash missions, which means you get more tickets, and it sort of recurs itself, right? It becomes a recurring thing where you can then pull on the standard banner, get more characters to show up your weak spots, pull on the banners. I mean, look how far I've made it in like the strike tower, just like casually autoing with Yoruichi's team, just because Yoruichi is so stacked, right? And I could keep going. I could easily keep going, but I decided to pull back, sort of realign my focus. I've been doing some off, no weakness, no recommended types. Byakuya, I could easily do this one. I haven't done it yet. I did a bunch of them yesterday, so I figured I'd stop. This isn't even like the most impressive thing in the world, so please don't take this as like, oh, look how easy it is. Look at me. No. I'm just saying you can get the content done, but there does come a time in PvE games especially where you have to decide. You have to decide to pull a little bit. I have 10,000 Jade. I have 3 limited tickets. I have not... The only 10 tickets I've spent on Ichigo were the completely free ones we got from the mail, which I decided, hey, that could be cool. If I end up pulling him, then, shoulder shrug. What this will also provide is an opportunity, not here, to pick up more of these tickets. A special currency rewarded from gacha can be used in store. What I've been using these for, and I would not recommend this. I would recommend put all of your tickets into here, etc. But what I have actually been using this to pump a few gacha tickets here, some blue gachas. The reason why is because I do want to inevitably shore up, grabbing these remaining characters. And I think it's just an easy way to sort of, pick and pull at the, carcass of the standard banner without having to commit my Jade. Though in the best of times, I would say you should probably just like focus in on, your limited gacha tickets, right? Why complicate it? The reason why that I'm making Toshiro my goal as well is because I love Gin. I would like Gin. I really would. He is one of my favorite Bleach characters from the earlier arcs. That said, we do have some obvious opportunities here. If we go back to this page, Strike is shored up. Soy Fawn will be cool, but at this point, not really necessary. It'll be cool if you want Soy Fawn. It'll be sick, right? You can get Soy Fawn. Yoruichi seems to have no problem doing any of the content so far. If anything, I think Strike is looking to either... It's not either. Strike is looking to replace Momo as its support, I think. It does not have a consistent support. Sajin Komamura does just fine, but could probably be a better support like Kisuke or like Byakuya for overall strength. Kaname Tosen is perfect for the role he does. And Ikkaku does not need replacing as far as the actual slash DPS goes, which makes Gin an inferior choice to save for, unless he's your favorite character, right? For me, because I did not pull on Bankai Ichigo, my out for slash damage is going to be Kenpachi, who I did say I want to pull. That is a part of the reason I did not spend a lot of time rerolling for Bankai Ichigo, even though he could help me a ton, obviously, in the current events, is because I was like, well, all things being fair, I kind of just want Kenpachi anyway. And again, it doesn't mean you don't want multiple elements, because once we start talking like some events, like we're already seeing it here. Even though this is running a Slash event and a Pierce event, you can't run both like teams in these. So you can see these characters I have here, Yoriichi, Kamamura, and Yorihara. I cannot actually run them here, right? Completely different environment. I think that there's just too much upside to pulling for Hitsugaya, and I need to pull for someone at this point, because I'm just sitting on the egg, right? I'm on the egg, I'm just sitting, I'm waiting for it to fucking hatch. So that'll be my plan. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I know this was less of a, you know, visual video and more of just a talking head video. Again, I would like to thank everyone who has been watching the videos, because you have been showing out supremely, bigly, huge support these past few days. I'm just going to be getting a few dailies done, waiting on the release of The Boy. Nothing really to get doing until then. Again, if you've been playing Bleach up until this point, I did finally get almost everything done here. The only thing I need is all 43, which I am well on my way to getting. I'm at 41 here. So we'll either ding 43 today by reset or after reset, or tomorrow, which is perfectly fine with me. No reason to rush, like I said, as a non-spender, as a completely free-to-play account. Please don't get baited. There's literally, this is the beginning of the game. Let me just remind you, I try to say it at least once every video just because it is so important. Let me just remind you, this is the beginning of a gacha game. It's going strong so far. It's been free to play so far. It's been really cool so far. So just try to not get in your own way as much as possible. There is no reason to, you know, spend a lot of time on the game, just like only doing this and, you know, forcing content when you don't need to. Take it easy, play something else. Just go event from event, and your account will grow. Your account will become really competitive, you know, competitive quote unquote, just from making sure you're logging every day, getting the most out of your resources, using your stamina, which is really easy to do. Remember that this has a great stamina system. You can just press the button. Literally, you can just press the button, right? So, with all being said, like if you liked the video, subscribe to the club. I've been Lone. We all go make it, and peace.